Hello. Okay, so the idea here is when we got a break of structure and we have a fair value gap in the same place, that means we got a strong break of the break of structure. It's not just close above it, or it's not just a break it need to be a strong fair value gap. We can see how the fair value gap here is very big. Okay, because you have option to choose the strings of the fair value gap from here. So 3, that means that's very strong. 1 is mostly the most of the fair value gap will be accepted. The most of the fair value gap here will be accepted when you set it to 1. 2 is more stronger. 3 is very strong, so you can make it 4, you can make it 5, but that will decrease the number of trade. So here we can see we have a break of structure, we have a fair value gap and strong accepted fair value gap, and then the entry, you can decide if you want to enter on the start of the fair value gap or middle or whatever the percentage you wanted from fair value gap, or you want to enter on the fair value gap line. Okay, so here when retest the break of structure line inside the fair value gap, that will be our entry. About stop loss, and here you have an entry, you have option to use break of structure. You want the entry to be at break of structure or fair value gap. So if you choose fair value gap, you can set the percentage 0, mean the start of the fair value gap. Let's say you want 50%, so you will need to set here a 50. That means a 50% of the fair value gap. Okay, and that is when it set the binding order, it will be expired after 200 bar from the current time frame. So we are now on 1 hour. So after 200 hour, it will be expired, the binding order. Okay, so here we have also break of structure fair value gap, but it's not a return to the entry yet. So if we set the entry to be let's say 10% of fair value gap, it will be, we will got entry here. Okay, so if you set that and 10%, for example, this will be activated as a valid entry here. Okay, okay. So that's about the entry here, and here also we can see there is a fair value gaps. But when you have option to choose what's fair value gap, because maybe there is more than fair value gap during this wave. So in this case, you have option also to choose which fair value gap you wanted. If you want the first one on break fair value gap or largest fair value gap. So if you are using a largest fair value gap, so and you are using entry depend on the fair value gap, it will use this is the largest, so it will use this one for entry. It will ignore this one and enter using this one because this is the largest fair value gap. Okay, but if you are using a break of structure line, so it will enter only if it retests this line that is within the fair value gap. Okay. Okay, here also you can see we got entry here, and it's excited by trailing stop because you can see this is a line of the entry. We got entry and it's excited by trailing stop. Okay, okay, and I think here also we have got entry and we excite by profit by trailing stop during the price is touches this one, and during it's moving it's make excited by trailing stop. Okay, okay. Here also we got an entry, okay, using a break of structure because this is a line we enter using a break of structure, and it's excited by trailing stop here. Okay. Okay, so some entries will not apply if we are using a filters. So the drawing will be drawing whatever it will draw all the accepted patterns, but for entry it will filter depend on the filter we are using. Okay, so here you can see we have got enter on break of structure. If you are using a fair value gap 50%, the entry will be here. Okay, also the stop loss, you have option to set the stop loss depend on the fair value gap, or that's the fair value gap here, stop loss will be here, or depend on the last swing swing low, if last swing low or the fair value gap. Okay, okay, and here also we have got an entry here. Okay, some entries is not valid and it's not a good entry. We have here a valid one and we got entry here and excite by a trailing stop. So if you are using a swing, if you are using fair value gap as a stop loss, the stop loss will be about here. If you are using stop loss as swing, it will be about here, and you have option to add it above the stop loss. We can see here on the my management section, we have a stop loss using by swing or by fair value gap or by bips. You can just make it by bips and set the bips you wanted, or make it by using a swing and we can add it to stop loss. So let's say we using a swing, so stop loss will be here plus 10 pip, it will be about here. Okay, that will be stop loss for this sell trade. Okay, if you are using fair value gap, that will be the fair value gap contain 3 bars. So on this point, it will be above it by 10 bips. It will stop loss will be here. Okay. Okay. What if you want to use a trend line? In case you want the entry, the patterns you want to enter is with trend only to ignore like this situation here. Okay, that's a correct break of structure, that's correct fair value gap, it's very good fair value gap, but and retest it here, but it's against trend. So in this case, you have also option in the filter section, that's filter section, is called MA trend. It's use a moving average, you can control it and control also the time frame. So you can, if you make that true, that means it will ignore any signals happen above any cell above the trend line. Okay, so it will enter only with trend line, with direction, and ignore like this situation. Okay, and also let's say you don't want you want the trend to be let's say you are using 1 hour and you want the trend to be on daily, you can just choose here a daily and set the time, the period if you want to change it, and that means it will using a higher time frame as a trend line to decide the direction. Okay, also there is another filter which is a quantity. Quantity will decrease a lot of the trade. If you make that true, that will be use a quantity sweep. So it must make a quantity sweep before activate the entry. Okay, before accept the entry. Okay, so it's decide what is the start of this wave, the last wave, and check if there is a swing, accepted swing low. This is not swing low, it's not accepted, but let's say if there is a accepted swing to low and it make a sweep, equity sweep and go up, then this signal will be valid. Okay, I think this one is okay, and also here this is I think it's not it can be accepted because I put a rule, if it's closed by 1 bar, that's before this is the last swing. Okay, and if it's this level is break closed before it, but it's the preview bar, it will be still accepted as a swing, equity sweep. So that one will be accepted if you are using a equity sweep. Okay. Here it's not reached the break of structure level, but if you are using 50% of fair value gap, we will put an entry here, okay, with a stop loss here and the target will be 4 times, but we are using a trailing stop. Okay. Here also, it's not reached a break of structure, but it's reached about 38% of the favorable gap range. Okay. So what about the actual result? Here we can see the actual result. We see it's go up, it's good, and it's make profit losses, but it's go up and losses, profit, and now we have got higher, and we have a losses, and we got higher and higher and higher. So overall, it's make a profit. It's not bad for the result for now. We can see it's make a profit here. But let's see if we change the sum of the setting. Let's say I will change, I will edit the equity as filter. Also, of course, we have sessions. So if you want it to run only on New York, on whatever sessions, you have 3 sessions. You can adjust it. When you turn that true, you can turn 1 off and keep 1 or 2, or keep the 3 on, whatever you wanted. You can do that. You have full control of the start and end time for each session, and you can turn whole session filter off or on from here. And here is the drawing. You can remove drawing or let drawing for the break of structure, favorable gap, equity, and text. And you can control the all appearance, the colors, widths, line style, the colors, whatever. You can control all that. Okay. Break of structure, order block. I tried to make it, but the problem is it's not successful. After I made it as for entry, I did not get a good result. So if you want it, I can make it. Okay, I can keep it, but I removed it from the last version because it's not good with this strategy. I don't know why. About money management, you have here to risk. You can risk by dollar, maximum risk for trade by, let's say, $100. So that's maximum risk per trade. You can make it by percentage, so you can set it 1%, 0.1%. Okay, for that's maximum risk per trade. Okay, or you can make it by lot size and set the lot you wanted. Okay. About stop loss here, as I mentioned before, you have a favorable gap or swing or pips. You can set stop loss depending on which of this option with additional pips above the stop loss. Let's say 10 pip, 5 pip as you need. And take profit also, you have option to use a Fibonacci. Fibonacci is used, let's say, you can make it 138, for example. That will use the whole wave, and the target will be above this wave by 38% if you set it like this. Or you can use risk by reward and set the risk reward by 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Or use by bips and use option here to set the bips you wanted. And trading stop, here you can turn it on off, and if profit a 15 bip, it will move stop loss. It will make a trading step by 5 bip, but in condition if it's make a profit 50 bips at least. Okay, so that's, and also you have option here to control the swing dips. So let's say how we can decide if this top or bottom, or pick up or pick down, or swing bottom, swing up. How can we decide that? We decide that by using this option here. If we set it 5, that means any bottom that have right direction 5 bars and left direction 5 bars, it's make a lowest low for that will be a swing low. So let's say if you make it 100, for example, that will, in this case, you will get the largest or the main major swings only. So let's say this one is not swing because it's not reached. This one will be swing because it's more than, if it's more than 100, it will be accepted as a swing. Okay, we can see it's more than 100, so that will be accepted swing low. So from this I make it 5, just 5 to be to get the swings, small swings here, up, down, and break of structure, all that. Because break of structure and swings and the waves, price structure, everything depends on this option. So that's how to define if this is a swing, if this small one is swing, if let's say this one is swing bottom, swing low or not. All that we can define it by using this option. Okay, and about the fair value gap, we can define if this is accepted for fair value gap, or if any small fair value gap is accepted or not. That's depend on this option. Here you can decide if it's 3, that means it will only accepted the largest fair value gap. We can see this is a large fair value gap, and we have a break structure here. Okay, and I think we got entry already here, depending on this break of structure. Okay. Okay. So so you have full control option, and also there is another option which is filter is on reverse. That what mean of on reverse? That mean if we have let's say we have a down, we have an up direction, for example, and we got a pattern below this one. That means it's just on reverse. After it's reverse, it was up, but now it's turned down, and we got a break of structure and fair value gap. I will search for one that have this one. 1 second. Okay. Yes, I think this one. So here we can see we have a down direction. Okay, but we got a pattern here, and this pattern is close above, and this pattern is above the moving average. So we have a turn up during this turn up, and it's still down, and we got this one. This one will be accepted. This pattern will be accepted in this case. Okay, so this pattern will be accepted if we activated this on reverse. So when we have a down direction and we got an pattern above the moving average, that means we have a reverse up after it was moving down. Okay, so it will ignore all other signals. It will ignore all these signals, and it will enter only the signals that happen on a reverse only. I think this one can be a reverse because we have up here, and we still up till here, and we got a lower a pattern below the moving average, so that will be on reverse sell signals. Okay, this one and this one, maybe, yeah, that's still up. As long as it's still up and we have a pattern below the moving average, the sell signals here will be accepted. And we can see it's very good. It's go up and go down, very good. Okay, but it will ignore like this one because we have now turned it down, so it will be ignored this one. Okay, and this one it will be accepted as on reverse if you activated this filter. If you activate this filter on reverse, in this case, this one will be accepted for the entry because we have a trend up moving average, and the pattern happened below it, and it's still up. So that one would be accepted sell signal. Okay. Okay. So on. So that's about this filter. Okay, I think everything else is clear. Okay. And overall, the result is not bad. The count is go up. Okay, and we'll make another test also using different setting to see if there is a better than that. But overall, the profit is not bad. Okay, that's on one pair. So it can work on multi pairs, many pairs. So I will test also on another pairs.